Hey guys, how are we going? So as we predicted last week, thanks to the lovely little sneak peek that we got, we know that the Roxas EX banner, well, it's here. And as as we saw the other day, it does indeed come with a Mercy pool for HD Xion, which is really freaking awesome. So I thought I'd do a breaking banner video this time before all of you had spent all your jewels on it. So let's get into it. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so first up for our new medals, we have the titled medal basically. It's Roxas EX. So just like Sephiroth EX, his effect is that he raises your speed-based strength by 5 tiers for 1 turn, as well as your own general strength. And, really importantly, lowering the enemy's speed-based defense by 3 tiers for 1 turn and their general defense down. Okay, so obviously that's a huge amount of buffs all rolled into one medal, and even better than that, being a tier 6 medal, if you're able to fully guilt him out with that tier 6 180%, his multiplier is 11.04, so combine that with the ludicrous amount of buffs that he gets. Again, a very, very, very powerful medal. Okay, that doesn't really even need to be said. It's just like Sephiroth EX, so you should know that a lot of people are really going to want this medal. The only thing that makes him a little bit worse than Sephiroth EX, in my opinion, is that he deals 4 hits, where Sephiroth only deals 1. So the reason that's a downside is because obviously in high score challenges, dealing the minimum amount of hits possible is very, very desirable. Not that high score challenges are the be-all and end-all of this game, he's still going to be extremely useful in Colosseum and just dealing damage in general. But in terms of enemies with counters, and obviously high score challenges, he's slightly worse. Well, high score challenges a lot worse, but for counter enemies, slightly worse than Sephiroth EX. Needless to say, still very, very powerful. Okay, so in terms of setups, obviously he's a upright speed medal, so the upright speed Keyblade being Sleeping Lion. I guess Lady Luck as well, but we don't really talk about that anymore. Sleeping Lion is a very, very good candidate for him if you want to have him sit up the back and, you know, have other medals that complement his buff setup. You could definitely do that. So he's going to take care of pretty much all of your speed-based strength and a lot of your negative speed-based defense needs. So you need to top up your own strength, where 0.2 Kari handles that perfectly. And you need to take care of lowering enemies' general defense down. Like I said, in Colosseum, general defense down is pretty much the be-all and end-all of that game, really. So that is definitely what you need to have. So you could have medals like the upcoming Final Form Xion to really fill in that gap. What she does is lower the enemy's general defense by 2 tiers for 2 turns, dealing 1 extremely powerful reverse speed hit. So there is 1 reverse speed slot, good lord, on the Sleeping Lion Keyblade, which she would fit very, very well into, so you could definitely pop her on there. You could even consider, because the current round of EX medals, though they are very powerful, there is always something more powerful coming out in the future, right? So if you've taken a look at the Japanese medals that are coming out now, there are some stupidly powerful EX medals that are coming out. The next batch is going to focus on lowering the enemy's speed or power or magic based defense, as well as their general defense, down by 4 tiers each. So like, let's say the speed EX medal is going to lower the enemy's speed based defense and its general defense by 4 tiers each. And it's going to have a much higher multiplier than, well, not much higher, but a little bit more higher multiplier than this current round of EXs. What you could do is you could use this guy as a buffer for one of those medals. So if you were really wanting to pull the speed next EX medal, this guy would be a really, really good buffer for it. A fantastic buffer for it. Not that it's not a powerful medal in its own right, but there have been a ridiculous amount of medals released really, really quickly over in the Japanese version. And given how quickly our version is trying to catch up, they could be here sooner than we think. So, yeah, I'll mention that when it comes to do I think you should pull or save. Anyway, complementary medals for a speed-based setup, obviously 0.2 Kari would do very well. Like I said, a medal to lower the general defense of your enemies, so Final Form Xion, which isn't out yet, or HD Ventus would be a very, very good medal to go with it. You'll notice I've got a Anti-Form Sora there. What that medal is actually a new copycat medal that's coming after HD Xion. So basically it is a upright speed version of HD Xion. We'll talk about what its effects are and what her effects are in a second, so we'll get to that. But yeah, if you want to copy these buffs again, you'd absolutely reach the current buff cap, so you'd be at the +7 power speed-based strength, as well as -6 speed-based defense by having a copycat medal. And if you use 0.2 Kari on top of that, you'd absolutely be at the speed cap, so you wouldn't have to worry about that. In terms of Fairy Stars is another good one. It's got the reverse speed slot at the back. So you could either have, I believe it's a reverse power slot that sits right in front of it. So you could have HD Xion sitting right before Roxas EX on a Fairy Star setup. But we'll talk about HD Xion in just a second. Have a right now, for example. Okay. HD Xion is a brand new copycat medal. You guys know how much I rant and rave, kick and scream about copycat medals and how important they are for free-to-play players to try and get their hands on. If you guys misnominate, I really strongly recommend trying to go for HD Xion this time. Because you can use it for anything. Like on the side there, I've got just a generic Kairi and Sephiroth sitting there. But what I mean by that is you can use it to copy either friend medals, like supportive medals that buff you or debuff your enemies, or you could use it on the other spectrum and just go take buffs you've already set up and then use it to do ridiculous amounts of damage. I do both, honestly. I take my HD Nominate and I sometimes put it at the front if I want to copy, let's say, Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora EX, for example. Let's say I want to copy that because by using that medal plus Nominate, I'm at +4 speed and the enemy's at -4 speed defense. Yeah, extremely versatile because if you spend all your resources just on this one medal, like if you're a player that doesn't have a ton of resources, you have a few chips, a few Dales, a few Sids, even though Sids aren't exactly rare anymore, you could spend them all just on the one medal. Like Mickey and Bruce, for example, you could spend them all just on the one medal, and pretty much borrow any friend medal you need, and you'll be able to complete so much content. One good buffer, one good copy medal, one good friend medal will let you take care of, what, 80%, 90% of the content in this game, if not more. Pretty much everything except for the really difficult stuff you'll be able to take care of in this game. Anyway, being the reverse power medal, she sits extremely well on, obviously, Darkgnaw, being the reverse power Keyblade. Like I mentioned before, on Fairy Stars, because of its reverse power slot, which I think is slot number 4. I'm pretty sure it's slot number 4. And it's got a blue slot and then a speed slot after it. Sorry, a magic slot before and a speed slot afterwards. Anyway, it's not too important. Fenrir has a reverse power slot in number 4, so you could copy your 5th medal using this one right here. Yeah, obviously I don't know how much more I can say about how good copycat medals are, but if you've ever watched any of my videos, you know when I do spend jewels, it's on these. I will try to get these. I've talked about it enough. Okay, my thoughts on the banner. I got rid of pros versus cons. I'm just calling it like reasons to pull versus reasons to save. So good reasons to pull. Obviously, it's a Mercy for a copycat medal. That's a really good thing. I know so many people were pissed off because HD Nominate didn't come with a Mercy pull, even though they've re-released that banner now and it has a 5 pull Mercy. This is definitely a much better medal because it's a tier 6. When you do pull for it, it comes with a slight chance of Roxas EX. We'll talk about that. I've had a quick look through some various different discords. I've observed 36 pulls, of which I've seen 7 different Roxas EXs. That is a much better rate than Sephiroth EX, which I kind of did predict, just because obviously Sephiroth is really desirable because A, it's a cool as shit looking medal, it's really good at high score challenges, and it's the first new EX. They kind of need to win us back over so that people won't just write off EX medals entirely. So I feel like this one is kind of the worst of this batch of EXs, so they're like, here you go. Here's a good chance of getting it, and that way they hope everyone will forget how bad it is to pull for EX medals the next time a really good one comes along, and they'll make a ton of money again because people will go chasing it. Anyway, I don't need to rant about Cena in this video. Again, having HD Xion is extremely flexible, and if you're able to guild that thing and maybe even get some traits on it later down the line, if you pick up another copy randomly later on, it's going to be a medal with extreme longevity. Okay, why you should save. If, like I mentioned before, if you've noticed the extremely ridiculous rate that the Japanese version is dropping its EXs, there are lots of things you could be spending your jewels on. Lots and lots. You could theoretically spend jewels in the future, and while doing so, pick up a Xion HD on your first pull. In theory. Again, the rates of doing that are what? I think there are currently 57 premium medals in the pullable pool right now. So theoretically, 1 in 57 of you, when you do a pull in the future that has a guaranteed premium, will pick up Xion HD, and it's going to have dots on it. So for those 1 in 57 of you, it may not be the best idea to pull right now, but of course, who knows who that is? I don't know who that is. It could be me, it could be you, it could be anyone. So it's really not wise to bank on the fact that you might pick this up later. The fact that you're guaranteed to spend 15,000 jewels now and get a copy with 3 dots is so nice, and it's really, really hard to pass up. Oh god, as much as I really love saving, I'm probably going to Mercy pull this one. I probably am going to. It's not, and I'm going to not regret it either. Really though, we're currently in the last high score challenge for Sephiroth EX. And I doubt they're going to update it to include, oh, you get bonus points if you have Roxas EX. Because that would piss off a ton of people. All the people who are currently ranked highly in this. So, will we get a high score challenge that features HD Xion and Roxas EX? Who knows? It could be during the next EX banner where we get bonus points for Roxas EX, Xion HD, and the next set of EXs and Mercy pulls. There could, in the future, be a copy metal reprint banner. The Japanese version has set a precedent for that, where they had a copycat banner where you were guaranteed every single pull to get at least one of Namine HD, the new Antiform Sora, Xion HD, and I don't know if it was in the same banner or not, or maybe a different banner, but the key arts beginning bonds in sky, or whatever they're meant to be called. Yeah, no, it's BBS for us. I thought it was like ABC for us for a second, that's right. Beginning bonds in sky. So there could be one of those in the future, and if we have one of those that comes with dots, that's going to be a very, very good chance to pick up not only Xion HD, but Namine HD as well. Again, if we do get that, which we might not because it seems like a very good banner for us. And like I said before, it's just a good idea to save in general. If you're unable to Mercy pull Xion HD, it's probably not the wisest option to try and pull for her now and YOLO, because odds are you won't get her. It's probably better off, if you really do want her, and you can't afford to do her right now, to save up for a reprint banner in the future. Like I just said, we have got the chance of getting a copycat reprint banner, and we also have a chance of getting just a Xion HD banner. Like, we did get a Namine HD banner, which is currently active right now. So, it's not crazy to think that we might get a Xion HD... My pen lid just flew off. It's not crazy to think we might get a Xion HD banner. Yeah, anything's possible, right? So, take a look. The thing I'd recommend more than anything, if you want to Mercy pull HD Xion, then do that. If you want to pull for Roxas EX, you don't really care about HD Xion, I don't think you exist as a player, but you might. You never know. That could be what you really want. Don't ever pull for an EX medal expecting to get it, because it probably won't happen. This is probably the perfect EX banner where it's almost like a bonus. Xion HD is definitely the thing I want, possibly even more than Roxas EX. Speaking of that, let's do one pull, huh? If you guys do pick her up before the Mercy, I would probably stop right there. I wouldn't bother Mercy pulling her, or going any further than getting her. Bam, it's an upright metal. Could be the EX, who knows? No, definitely not. What do I get? Okay, so we got one of these again. Hopefully, 1 dot. Okay, that was garbage. So, I've got to go to work right now, but I'll probably keep pulling a bit later on. Anyway, guys, if you want to leave me any feedback, let me know. Yeah, thanks very much. Oh, right. So I mentioned before that there was like a one... I'd seen 36 pulls with 7 of them having a Roxas EX. I probably should have mentioned that people tend to only post the good pulls. So it could be skewed pretty heavily towards, I don't know, seeming a lot better rates of pulling than it actually is. But anyway, just be careful, do some research first. This banner's going to be around for at least, what, a week or 10 days probably. So do your research, and yeah, I'll see you guys later on. Bye.